everyone. Let us start our day with code switching. But before we begin, let us discuss first the birth of code switching. Code switching occurs because most of the people today tend to be bilingual or multilingual. It is the ability to speak two or more languages. When a person is speaking, his knowledge of two languages may affect how he speaks and so his speech. Code switching is when a person, while speaking, changes the language he's using to another one. For example, from Filipino to English or from Japanese to French. In code switching, one language is dominant and served as the basis of the conversation, and it is called the matrix language. On the other hand, the language being added during the conversation is called embedded language. So what are the reasons why people code switch? First is directive function, to include or exclude other people from the conversation. And this expressive function, they include the embedded language to show some part of their identity. Third is referential function. This happens when a person finds a hard time expressing something. That is why he uses embedded language to express it easily. Fourth is poetic function. The person wanted to emphasize something. Okay, the next one is the fifth is metalinguistic function. It is reporting something in the other language. For example, is when you are speaking in Tagalog and then you wanted to quote something in English, a certain line from a poem or a certain line from a song, and that's called metalinguistic function. Sixth and the last is poetic function. The speaker uses embedded language for amusement or humor. Code switching also appears in different forms. The first is intersentential switching. The language switches for entire sentences or clauses. For example, I am so hungry, bibili muna ako ng pagkain. From English to Filipino. The next one is the intrasentential switching. The speaker switches language within a clause or sentence boundary. One of its example, which is taken from Rene Apple and Peter Moiskin, 1987, the Hotel Les Grande is really huge and unbelievably majestic. From English to French. Another one is El accident le turquoia alipos control na aka overturned and landed in a ditch. From Swahili to English. The next is extrasentential or tag switching. A tag from one language is inserted into another. Okay, for example is, I love him, pero my love isn't enough for him to stay. Let us check out some code switching from some movies.
Minasan, konnichiwa. Watashi wa Leia desu. And I'll be your tour guide for today.
The character was a Filipino tour guide in Japan and she knows how to speak Filipino, Japanese, and English language. The first class that the character said was a Japanese for Good morning everyone, my name is Leia. It is intersentential switching because the language switches for entire class. As a tour guide in Japan, it is very important that she knows how to speak Japanese and English.
お願いがあるんだ。But please be honest to me.
Okay. So, how will you know I'm honest if you can't see my eyes? Okay. Yes?
Yeah. Baka kasi na mo ba ako? Kasi mahal kita.
Of course. Aishitemasu, baby.
The character is a Japanese who knew how to speak Japanese, English, and Filipino language. After saying, I have a request in Japanese, he switched in English by saying, but you have to be honest with me. And then later on, he used Filipino by saying, papakasalan mo ba ako? Kasi mahal kita. It is also called intersentential switching. When he said, papakasalan mo ba ako dahil mahal kita, he wanted to emphasize his love and of course, when asking a Filipina on her native language, given the fact that he was a Japanese, will surely made her appreciate him more. And also when the two exchanged I love you in Japanese, wherein both of them code switched.
एक्सीडेंट हो जाता तुम्हें कोई किडनैप कर लेता पापा भी घर पे नहीं है इडियट मॉम को बताया? मैं बताऊं?
नहीं 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 नहीं,
तो फिर?
वो एब्सेंट नोट लिख दो ना दादा।
क्या?
एब्सेंट नोट।
नहीं 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 नहीं, मैं झूठ मूठ का कोई एब्सेंट नोट नहीं लिखने वाला। चल चल सो जा, सुबह मम्मा को सब बता दूंगा।
This is intersentential switching also. The language switches for entire sentences or clauses. And this also falls under pathic function, wherein the character wanted to emphasize what he means. The older brother is scolding his younger brother, emphasizing that what he did was wrong. On the other hand, the younger brother emphasized the absent note. This shows how he really needs it.